Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to another episode of Shy Boys Podcast. On today's episode, we gotta talk about it. Is the Bulls' defensive intensity sustainable for the final push of the season? I don't know. We gonna talk about it, but y'all know y'all gotta hear the music first.
Cognac, gang.
Shy Boys Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, holding it down for another episode for me and my co-host C-Dub. On today's episode, if you like what you're listening to, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Look, the Chicago Bulls, they come out yesterday and handle business again. Another blowout victory, this time against the Washington Wizards after a few nights ago, we smoked the Brooklyn Nets. So shout out to the Chicago Bulls for doing what they do, and it was just good to see. You had 27 from Zach LaVine, 29 from DeMar DeRozan, 16 from Nikola Vucevic, and 17 points off the bench for Kobe White doing what he do. But the question is, can the Bulls defense intensity, is it sustainable for the final push of the season? I will say yes. It is sustainable, but it's not up to us, y'all. It's not up to us. It's not up to the Bulls fans. It's up to the Bulls players. They clearly came out and told us that every game is like a game 7. They got to show us. We've been behind this team through multiple 3-game winning streaks. We need to see if these guys can go ahead and put together a 4-game winning streak and not follow that up by losing 4 in a row. Because typically that's what happened. These guys get on a 3-game winning streak and then they go drop 3 games. So these guys definitely need to be able to show us what the hell they are made of. But the Bulls, the last 2 games, have held the Nets and the Wizards under 90 points. That's something that's not going to happen moving forward. But the defensive intensity is something that they should be able to maintain, especially if they sitting up here telling us all the goods behind the microphone in the press conference and telling us that every game is like a game 7. So if you putting it out there like that, you're going to have to show me, Brody. You got to show me, Brody. The Brooklyn Nets only scored 87 against the Bulls. The Washington Wizards scored 82. In the span, the Bulls are now ranked 6th overall in defensive rating, and they are 1st since January. Now, is it sustainable? I will say yes, but these guys have to prove it. That's just what it is. They just got to prove it. Defense overall has not been a problem, in my opinion, though. It's maintaining that intensity for the entirety of the game. And then also what these guys can do offensively. So the coach has to go in there and help these players succeed, and these players have to help the coach succeed as well by executing what the hell the game plan is for whoever they're going up against that particular night. So these guys going to have to go ahead and make sure they are executing, because we have seen now these games have looked good with the blowouts. But I want to see the Chicago Bulls. I will really, really start to trend to believe in the hype if in a close game, the Chicago Bulls can execute plays and complete a job without some bonehead-ass turnover, without some bonehead-ass communication on defense, without some bonehead shot attempt by DeMar or Zach LaVine. Can they complete a game and win a game when it's tight, when things get clutch? We seen how the Bulls play when they got a decent lead or a decent cushion going into those final minutes of the fourth quarter. But we also seen how they look when the game is tight going in those final minutes of the fourth quarter. All hell breaks loose. Zach LaVine, he loses his IQ. DeMar DeRozan, he loses his IQ. Caruso can't inbound passes. Zach LaVine can't inbound passes. Billy steady drawing up the same exact plays. Like, bro, we've seen this story many, many times. So, is it sustainable? Yes. But they have to show us that they have learned and went through so many struggles early on that they can overcome now. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. Maintaining that intensity for the entirety of the game and playing smart basketball. That's all that really matters. For real. Now, they handle business against the Washington Wizards, but Toronto is the next test for the Chicago Bulls. As Toronto, they are fighting for play-in positioning as well, just like the Bulls. So every game, the Bulls got to treat it like Game 7. Y'all want to say it's Game 7? Show me, bro. Because the Toronto Raptors, you know what I'm saying? I believe they beat us and we beat them. So now I believe this coming up on a tiebreaker, I believe. So we just got to go ahead and see what the hell we can do. Because after Toronto, then you got Detroit. Those are two very winnable games. And then you got Phoenix with KD coming back. I got to see how these next 3 games play out, because that's the potential to see even a 4-game winning streak or a 5-game winning streak. But I'm not going to jump the gun, because every time we go ahead and jump the gun, we look like idiots as Bulls fans. So we just going to say we're going to take it a day at a time, a game at a time, a possession at a time, and a quarter at a time. We got to break this down to the very, very microcosm of what it is. Because if we get overzealous, get too happy, we will be disappointed again. And I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? I'll be on here screaming, yelling, and ready to kick my damn monitor over. But at the end of the day, these guys got to show us what they are really made of. Can they have to sustain this and do what the hell they have to do as an organization? As an organization, that's coming from the top down, bro. Because, and I'm going to be honest, yes, we seen 17 points from off the bench from Kobe White, and it was great. But Ayo Dosunmu, you can't be getting out 22 plus minutes in the game and going and laying goose eggs. Patrick Williams, you got to contribute as well. If anybody is being placed in off that bench, especially those 2 guys for me, they have to produce. You got to produce something. You have to do something. Ayo Dosunmu and Patrick Williams. Especially because y'all is starters. So y'all should be more comfortable on the bench now and be able to contribute more now in a different role than what you were, previously in. So that's something that I'm going to keep my eyes on moving forward, because every night Kobe is not dropping 17 off the bench. And kudos to him, because I believe it was over 65% shooting. So shout out to him. And you know what I'm saying? But the guys just got to follow the Bulls' lead. They got to follow the lead, and the leaders got to lead. And that's what it really comes down to. I believe the defensive intensity is sustainable, but it's not a matter if, it's you know what I'm saying? It's when. When will the Bulls do it for the entirety of a game, or continue to do it for the entirety of the game when the opposing team comes out and punch you in your mouth, like we seen the Bulls? What happened to the Bulls plenty of times in the Indiana game just a few weeks ago. They punched the Bulls in the mouth and the Bulls folded like cheap laundry. You know what I'm saying? So when will the Bulls stand up for that? I believe that these guys are coming out with a different mindset. Zach LaVine is putting in the press that he's on attack mode. Okay, show us. Don't just say it. Show us. And that's what it really comes down to, man. That's what it really comes down to. So is it sustainable? Yes. But they got to prove it, and that's it. Nonetheless, they got to prove it. That's it. So if you like what you heard today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want to be a part of our mailbag episodes, go ahead and send your voicemails in to that number right there on the screen for you, 773-242-9219. Also, if you want to definitely be in tune with some of the live calls on Playback TV, just ensure that you subscribe to the channel and turn your notification bell on, as we always live call every single game. So do what you do. Make sure y'all tune in. It's another episode of Shy Boys Podcast with Bobby. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.
Cognac. Gang.